So some people see this and think it's just a driver's license. I see this and I think DMV employees' worst nightmare. So when you're 18, you can take a 1-day permit class and get your permit and then schedule your driving test whenever you want. So that's what I did. Took the permit class, got the permit, scheduled, and after 30 days of driving experience, I was like, I've got this. It's time to schedule the appointment. I can parallel park. No road issues. We're good. So it takes 5 attempts. I thought, the road test was going to be the hardest thing. I feel like scheduling your appointment for the DMV is. Took 5 attempts. So by the time I got my appointment, there's a lot riding on this. Anyway, the day of my appointment, I'm sitting in the waiting room waiting for my turn, and then my name is finally called, and I look up and I see who my examiner is. This shorter, stout, very serious, kind of grumpy, definitely fed up with the day and ready to be done lady. And I'm just like, okay, great. This is going to go awesome. Clearly, I've got someone who's in a very positive mood. So I try to make the best of it. I get up, I smile, I say hello, stone-faced me, and just walked out the door. I was like, great. So we get into the car, get all buckled up. She's got her clipboard with my score sheet and a pen. First thing, parallel parking. I'm like, great, I've got this. This is the thing I'm good at. 3 times, guys, 3 times, okay? I miss. First time, back up, miss. Pull forward. She sighs, and I'm like, okay, this is not great. So I pull forward, back up, miss again. Now she's completely silent. She's got her lips pursed in a very tight line. And then I tried the 3rd time. I missed by a mile, and she just goes, let's just move on. I'm like, oh, okay. So we move on, and we get out onto the road and we're cruising. Everything seems to be going well, and I'm like, okay, maybe I can still salvage this. I didn't pass parallel parking. Everybody who's taken this test before told me when they did parallel parking it was an automatic fail, but I'm still driving. So let's see if I can salvage this. So she gives me the next directions. She goes, hey, take the next right. And keep in mind there's 2 streets coming up on the one we're going, and so I ask for clarification. I go, hey, you mean that one right there? And I point to the 2nd street. And she goes, yes, that one. I go, great. I'm glad we understand what we're doing. So we're traveling about 60, and we get going. And all of a sudden, I notice she's getting kind of fidgety, kind of nervous. And we're getting closer and closer. And she goes, that street right there, that street right there, that street right there. And I go, oh, okay. And so I flick on my blinker, and we, whirl around the corner, and then that's where things kind of go a little downhill. But so the clipboard goes flying, and so does the pen, and she's bracing herself on the dash and the door, and she's screaming, oh my god, oh my god, oh my god, oh my god, right? Not great. And then we make it around the corner, we pull over. She tells me to, pull over, pull over, pull over. She gets out of the car, and she's like hyperventilating. This poor lady, she's like hyperventilating. She's got hands on the knees on the side of the road. And this is not great. In my head, I'm like, well, this is not good. And she looks at me and she goes, did you see that car? Did you see? And I look back, and there's just this car just cruising very casually down the road. And I turn back to her and I go, no, I did not. And so it takes her a minute, but she eventually gets back in the car, picks up her, lost clipboard and pen. And now it's extra quiet, because now I'm like, okay, this is not good. And I'm trying really hard not to laugh, because although this is really terrible, it was kind of funny. Anyway, we get going again, and I'm like, okay, I still think this is salvageable. All right. So the very next street, very next street, there's this little plastic wheel in the street. And as we're getting closer, I'm like, do I drive around it? Do I go into oncoming traffic? Do I drive over it? What do I do? Am I going to get points knocked off? Because at this point, I'm like, I'm trying to salvage this. I just need to pass. I just need to collect as many points as possible. So as we're getting closer to it, I'm driving slower and slower and slower, right? Until I come to a complete stop. And she's just sitting in silence over there, lips pursed, waiting to see what I'm going to do. And I finally just go, in my head, I'm just like, I'm just going to drive over it. I'm just going to drive over it. So we ka-clunk over it. And not, 30 seconds later, she goes, still not looking at me. Usually one drives around objects in the road. And after a moment, I go, I know, I drove over it. And she goes, I know. And off we go. And so we make it back to the DMV, and we're parking, and I'm like, well, this is not going well. This has not gone well at all. So car's completely silenced. She still won't look at me. She's got her clipboard in her lap, and there's this one section left, right, to mark off. And without looking at me, I hear her go, I really shouldn't be doing this. And then she checks off the last box, and I passed. And I'm so elated. And, I'm barely paying attention, but she's giving me a lecture on, like, I need to be paying more attention. I need to, be listening more and all that. And in my head, I'm just like, you know what? I passed. I think the only reason she passed me because she doesn't want to get in the car with me again. So, yeah. So that's my DMV driving story. So anytime I hear about someone who's nervous about their driving test, I just tell them my story, and I'm like, look, if I can pass this disaster of a driving test, you've got this. You're going to be fine. So that's my story.